Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, March 15th, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. The school committee has finalized two conditional FY 2020 budgets, one in the case of an operational override and one if an override does not pass. The non-override budget resulted in a multi-million-dollar deficit, and budget cuts have been an ongoing task of the school committee for the past few weeks. The school committee finalized the budget on Wednesday night at the Savage Center. Committee Chair Maya Bodenhofer gave a recap of all the cuts to the non-override budget, including the most recent reductions.
We have eliminated all after-school fine arts, including the marching band and the summer musical. We have eliminated all after-school activities, including the late bus at the middle school and at the high school. Things like National Honor Society and the Student Council are not funded. We have voted to close the Willett School and squeeze those kindergarten classrooms into the existing elementary schools, which will force art and music to no longer have dedicated classrooms. We have voted to reduce our elementary teachers by 4, reduce our middle school teachers by 3, reduce our high school teachers by 2.2. And then we've reduced textbooks and snow and ice.
And the athletic director by half.
And the athletic director by halftime. Thank you.
In addition, the school committee presented an outlook of the FY 20 budget if an override does pass. An operational override would provide the school department the additional funds for 13.6 new FTEs and roughly $30,600 in expenditures, totaling roughly $1.5 million. To watch the full meeting, visit norwoodcommunitymedia.org to watch it on demand or tune into the NCM government channel for the rebroadcast. On Wednesday, Andrea Vaughn, author of Invisible Target, provided training for parents on protecting your children from predators.
Sure, I came to give a parent training on protecting your children from predators. And I was so excited to have the opportunity. I attended all the Norwood schools, and unfortunately, I endured sexual abuse at the hands of my middle school teacher. And so I shared parts of that story of what happened to me, really to help illuminate some lessons, just so that people can learn from them and really integrate the knowledge so that they can keep their kids safe.
Andrea's book tells her story of sexual abuse and raises awareness for others.
Sure, it's called Invisible Target, Breaking the Cycle of Educator Sexual Abuse. And it details my story. It talks about sort of my childhood, what created this perfect target in me that made it easy for him to manipulate me and abuse me. I talked about the grooming process that he used to kind of gain my trust. I talked about the abuse, breaking away, and then coming forward and reporting the abuse and all the consequences that happened as a result of waiting too long before I reported it. And I really wanted to create that as a resource for people, more than just sort of a memoir. So I created some discussion questions at the end of every chapter for students and parents and teachers and administrators and survivors, just to get the conversation going, talking about what would you do if, how would you respond if, things like that, so that we can't remain silent about this. If we talk about it, there's a higher likelihood that we can protect our kids better.
One of Andrea's goals is to educate parents so that abuse can be prevented with proper awareness and training.
I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what abuse is. I think we grow up hearing certain myths about stranger danger, and in fact, that's only 10% of the problem. And so much of abuse is preventable with education and training. And we all enter parenthood with our own set of experiences that can kind of color our parenting, and it might not always be as open and knowledgeable as it needs to be. And the world is changing so much, and kids are more at risk for being victims through technology than certainly when I was a kid. And the landscape is changing in terms of abusers and manipulation and the access they have to kids. So the more that parents can become aware of some of the dangers and important practical ways to talk to their kids, I think we will have a much safer society.
Andrea's book, Invisible Target, is available on Amazon. Stay tuned after this break to learn about Together Yes's next installment of their sustainability series and for this week's Living Local.
Living Local is a new program coming to Norwood Community Media that highlights businesses and events here in Norwood. Everything you need to know about eating local, shopping local, exercising local, or even creating local, you'll find it right here on NCM's newest program, Living Local. You'll get an inside look into what makes each business unique. Only on Norwood Community Media, your home for all things Norwood.
Welcome back. The Sustainability Series is a series of speakers and seminars put on by the Norwood group Together Yes. The most recent installment of this series was a sewing seminar held at the Morrill Memorial Library. For more on the event, we go to the director of Together Yes, Susan Clare.
I'm Susan Clare, director of Together Yes, and we sponsor Sustainability. That's S-E-W, Sustainability. And we craft and sew in order to mend, alter, and repurpose fabric and other items rather than trashing them and buying new. Today's project uses all donated fabrics. The local food pantry has indicated that they do not want to keep using plastic bags for their clients. And we have volunteered to make a lot of fabric bags, which are machine washable, and they will be donated to the food pantry when we finish with them. It is entirely volunteer. Some people can sew. We've got them on machines. Some people can't sew. We teach them how to cut the fabric and measure it for us in advance so it's ready for the sewers. We do one of these projects every March and have a one-day work party and just accomplish as much as we can together.
Thanks, Susan. Now let's take a look at this week's Living Local.
My name is Charlotte Walsh, and we are at Charles River Running.
In 2012, Charles River Running opened its doors in Norwood Center. Owner Charlotte Walsh hoped her store would be a hub for area walkers and runners, complete with the very best in shoes, apparel, and accessories for both aspiring and competitive athletes.
We are a full-service, sit and fit running shoe store, but lots of people come to our store who need a good pair of shoes. Runners, walkers, people that are on their feet all day, people that just need a good, comfortable pair of shoes.
Charles River Running is not only a great place to find running shoes, but also a wide range of outdoor apparel and accessories.
We have apparel, we have accessories, we have great socks, we have all the things you need to have a great run or walk. We have things to carry your water, we have hats to keep you warm, we have all kinds of nutrition like goo and honey stinger and things that you eat on the run for energy. And we even have fun accessories like jewelry and pillows and books and coffee mugs.
Aside from providing all the equipment you need to start running, Charles River Running organizes a number of clubs and activities at the store.
We have a weekly running group called Thursday Strong, and it's open to all people, no matter what age you are, or how fast you run, or how far you run or walk. That means every Thursdays. Out of 52 weeks of the year, we only are shut down 6 Thursdays around the year on the calendar that we do not run with our group. We also host road races in the local community, and the proceeds from those races we donate to local Norwood charities or sports teams or organizations that are doing great things for our community.
The races that Charles River Running sponsors are some of the most popular races here in Norwood.
We were involved with the Napper Tandy Flyer. We do a New Year's Day race every January 1st at 10 a.m. at the Knights at Columbus Hall. We host the New Year's Day 5K. And be on the lookout for this summer. We're going to do our second run out of Percival Brewing at the Norwood Space Center, which is a 5K. We utilize the Norwood Cross Country Team course, so it's a little bit of trails and a little bit of roads, and we're planning that for August.
The employees of Charles River Running pride themselves on making sure that the customers are comfortable and equipped with the correct gear.
Sometimes people walk in the store and they feel a little intimidated, or they tell me right away, they exclaim that they are not a runner. And I just want everyone to feel welcome here and know that they do not need to be a runner to come in and get their foot measured and try on a bunch of shoes and talk to us about what they're experiencing with their feet or their exercise. So it's really a store for everyone because everyone needs a good pair of shoes. Well, we really get to know the customer. We have you sit down, we measure your feet. We're going to ask you all types of questions about your exercise and your running history and your foot health, and I think that's pretty hard to come by this day and age.
So if you live in Norwood or the surrounding communities and you are in need of new running equipment, Charles River Running is your spot.
We are right here in Norwood Center next to Perks, but you can reach out to us through Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. We have a website. You can always pick up the phone and call us too.
Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your local government. Welcome back to Norwood News. On Monday night, the Planning Board met with two main agenda items: the continued hearing for the site plan review at 253 Manhattan Street and the adequate access update on Sunset Ave. The hearing for 253 Manhattan Street began with attorney David Hearn explaining the most recent updates to the board. During the hearing, the board covered multiple topics, including sidewalks, street width, and tree issues. After the hour-long discussion, the board voted to continue the hearing until their next meeting, where they will review the final site plan. The second meeting of the night was an adequate access update on Sunset Ave. The board reviewed the plans with representatives from Glossa Engineering Incorporated and heard from members of the community. The next planning board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, March 26th. Tuesday was a busy day in town government with 5 meetings held throughout the day. The first meeting of the day was the Board of Health. Aubrey Seal, Impact Norwood Program Director, updated the public on the programs the coalition is pursuing. Impact Norwood is hosting a dodgeball tournament at the Norwood Civic Center on March 23rd for adults and youth. For more information, visit www.impactnorwood.org. The Board of Health will meet next month on April 22nd. The Norwood Trails Advisory Committee met later in the day in the Thornton Conference Room to discuss several items. The committee announced the upcoming Earth Day celebration will be on April 28th. They also coordinated some upcoming trail walks, including Eden Trail into Walpole and Germany Brook into Westwood. The Trails Advisory Committee's next meeting will be Tuesday, March 26th at 7 p.m. The Library Board of Trustees met at Morrill Memorial Library. Along with personnel reports and updates on upcoming meetings and events, the board gave more detail to the new book return slot recently installed outside the library.
We're absolutely thrilled that we have the new book return, and they will actually handle this combined one. Will handle, I think, 1,000 books, which would be even more in materials.
I should probably write a letter of thank you to Brookline Library.
Yes, we should. Yeah.
The next meeting for the Library Board of Trustees will be March 26th. At the Cable Commission meeting, representatives from Verizon and Norwood Light appeared before the board to approve minutes and for Norwood Light subscribers to discuss the process of switching the old Blacktalk cable boxes to new, smaller HD cable boxes. The half-hour meeting concluded with the scheduling of future meetings. The Board of Selectmen was the last meeting on Tuesday night. Town department heads appeared before the board to present their finalized FY 2020 budgets. The appearances included the town clerk, finance department, recreation department, police and fire departments, and the Department of Public Works. Selectman Plasko asked all the major departments what they would be willing to sacrifice if it became necessary.
So we got a basically level funded budget.
Yes.
What are we going to have to do without if we have to cut 100,000?
I don't know if we could come up with that number. We provide great services to this town. If you want to keep the same services,
That's the answer right there.
we can't cut anything. We really can't. I mean, people,
You can do it, but it would be a cut in service.
services would be,
I mean,
they really would.
the board saw some of the potential cuts that
Yes,
we were looking
yes.
at. Getting rid of summer help, which is not only just getting rid of a jobs program, but those kids do a lot of work for us. They paint hydrants, they clean downtown. If we cut out some of the overtime, we would be opening the landfill only once a month instead of twice a month. I mean, so these are service losses. We don't just have magic money built in the budget that we can say, well, do away with this and we're spending less money. Everything is tied to a service level.
The board also discussed capital projects for FY 2020 as well. The next Board of Selectmen meeting will be Tuesday, March 19th. Wednesday afternoon, the Airport Commission met in their meeting room located at Norwood Airport. During the 15-minute meeting, members of the Commission covered several topics. The meeting started with a taxiway project update, then Russ McGuire, Airport Manager, gave his manager's report. At the end of the meeting, Airport Commissioner member Mike Sheehan read a judgment of dismissal letter that was presented to them by Judge Stearns.
Judgment of dismissal, this action having been reported settled by the parties. The court entered a settlement order of dismissal on December 7, 2018. On January 23, 2019, the court granted in part and denied in part plaintiff's motion to enforce settlement agreement or vacate settlement order of dismissal and reopen case. By order entered on January 23, 2019, the court enforced the December 19, 2018 general release and settlement reached between the parties and denied the plaintiff's request to vacate the settlement order of dismissal and reopen the case. This case is now closed. It is hereby ordered and adjudged in accordance with the court order dated January 23, 2019 and Federal Civil Procedure 58A. Final judgment of dismissal is hereby entered without cost of attorney fees to any party. And I'd ask that be placed on file.
The Community Preservation Committee held a public hearing at the Police and Fire Community Room on Wednesday night. Attendees at this hearing listened to presentations for the upcoming CPA projects. In total, there were presentations made for 5 different projects: Carolyn Restoration, Lower Pond Pavilion, Bond Street Playground, Lower Balch Rehabilitation, and St. Street Lodge Purchase. To end the meeting, the committee reviewed the financials and began to discuss the upcoming town meeting. The next meeting for the CPC will be on March 27th. Wednesday's final meeting of the night was the previously discussed school committee meeting. Aside from the budget cuts, the meeting featured a number of guests covering an array of topics. Vice Principal Cindy Durain, Foreign Language Department Chair Jess Kaplan, and French teacher Philip Bueller came before the committee to request approval of a French student foreign exchange program in October of 2019. David Hajar was in attendance to give an update on the work of the Facilities Committee, and later in the meeting, Dr. Gallagher made an appearance to help aid in the discussion of offering a pay-to-play option for all athletics, fine arts, and clubs and activities. The tall task with that option remains the amount of money that will need to be fundraised.
If you add what we've eliminated in terms of athletics and extracurriculars and the arts and the activities, it's more than $750,000. So this is, I don't want to sell anybody short, but I don't think it's realistic to think that we could fundraise $750,000 between now and September.
The school committee will not meet for the rest of March. Their next scheduled meeting will be April 10th. Thursday night, the Finance Commission met in room 24 of Town Hall. Members from the Blue Hills School Committee and Norwood Public Schools School Committee were both in attendance to present their budgets to the board. The next Finance Commission meeting will be held in the upcoming weeks. To watch complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your schools.
Stop by the Norwood Morrill Memorial Library and check out magazines, newspapers, DVDs, and of course, books. The library also offers a variety of services, including passport renewal, a notary, and tutoring, with multiple different meeting rooms which can be booked for your convenience. Take advantage of online digital resources and get assistance with all of your research needs. Kids can enjoy the children's room stocked with books and toys. There are also a variety of programs for children and adults. And if you can't make it into the library can come to you with home delivery. The library is open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. To learn more, go to www.norwoodlibrary.org.
Welcome back. Now let's toss it over to our good friend Tim Rose to find out what is happening around the Norwood School District.
Hi guys, let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. At the Coakley Middle School, 7th grade science students are learning about what DNA is, its structure, and how DNA replicates. Learning about the structure is the first step, and students in class constructed DNA models out of materials including candy. Candy was the most popular choice, but other choices included pipe cleaners, beads, and paper. This was part of DNA Day, where other challenges took place in science class. Everyone had a lot of fun and said it was one of the best science classes ever. Principal Dr. Frasick even wondered what happens if you eat your own DNA. For Foreign Language Week, the 7th graders did projects on countries in Africa, and here's a picture that lists all of the languages that are spoken in Africa. The Oldham School celebrated Read Across America Week, and here are some highlights in a video produced by literacy specialist Mrs. DeBoer. At the Balch this month, they're celebrating Read Across America, and Mrs. Davis's 4th grade class had book buddies with Mrs. Malachowski's 5th grade class. They also had a visit from firefighter Paul. He taught the class about fire safety and allowed a student to wear his suit. Also, for Read Across America Day, Balch art teacher Mrs. Bailey had students paint Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. Also at the Balch, the Norwood Young Readers Award is a district-wide reading incentive where the elementary school librarians select a range of titles for students in 4th and 5th grade to read. Any student who read 4 or more of the 10 book selections gets to vote on their favorite NYRA book. The winner, Framed, by James Ponte, was selected by all participating 4th and 5th grade readers in the district. After all this reading, the Balch also took some time to exercise and take advantage of the snow during recess. The 2nd grade students at the Cleveland School held their annual Character Day. Students spent the past month reading books about their favorite fictional characters and then created a poster and costume to use as part of their Character Day presentation. Families and friends spent the morning touring the Character Museum and talking with Willy Wonka, Pete the Cat, Wilbur, and Amelia Bedelia, to name a few. The event was a huge success. Aaron Ruland is the librarian at the Callahan and Oldham and has been teaching great lessons in their makerspaces. Here, the students are making Lego marble mazes. This has been this most popular station so far. In another lesson, after his students have read The Adventures of Beagle, his students use squishy circuits to make imaginary friends of their own that light up. Makerspaces are a great way to encourage creative thinking, and we will be producing a segment on makerspaces in the future newscast. At the Callahan, students in Mrs. Wood's 1st grade class read the book The Jelly Donut Difference, and then created their own donut sprinkled with kindness. During the month of March, students are participating in daily kindness challenges, and students in grade 2 are working on creating pictures and cards to be given to a local nursing home. Some special winged animals flew into the Callahan thanks to a PTO-sponsored assembly. The Wingmaster Enrichment Program was a great way for students to see owls up close and personal. The kindergartners at the Willett Early Childhood Center enjoyed a program from the Museum of Science all about life cycles. The students learned about the stages of development for all living things, and specifically about the life cycles of a bearded dragon, a golden retriever, a giant sequoia tree, and other interesting plants and animals. This program connects directly to the kindergarten science curriculum, in which students will explore life cycles in greater depth throughout the spring. Thank you to the Willett PTO for sponsoring this wonderful program. The Prescott School has been buzzing with excitement this past week. Students enjoyed their snow day, but returned with a jam-packed week of projects, enrichment assemblies, and more. On Wednesday, kids and teachers participated in the beloved game show. Students were challenged to answer questions about science content and tested their knowledge on things like types of rocks, moon phases, and engineering strategies. Thanks to the PTO for providing this fantastic enrichment opportunity for all of our students. Many of the Prescott students in all grades have also been working on a variety of research projects. Whether it be on communicable diseases in 5th grade health, historical figures in 3rd and 4th grade, or animals in 1st grade, students have sorted through informational sources and gained a lot of knowledge. The best part of these projects is when the students get to share their learning with their peers, teachers, and their principal. Students are able to get creative and utilize Google Classroom, or even dress up and act out the topic that they have studied. The Little Mustangs Preschool Academy has been coloring their school with kindness this month. Miss Michelle has been heading up the LMPA's Social Emotional Learning initiatives by focusing on a different aspect of social emotional learning each month. In preschool, social emotional skills include being able to get along and cooperate with others, manage strong feelings, focus attention, and persist at challenging tasks. These skills are especially important during the preschool years because they are critical for long-term success in school and, more importantly, in life. This month at LMPA, the children have been learning and practicing how to be a kind friend. Each time a child is caught doing something kind by one of their teachers, a colored heart is placed on a giant black and white rainbow. Our goal is to have a colorful rainbow by the end of March. Looks like the Little Mustangs are well on their way. And finally, the Arabella Distractology trailer was at Norwood High School to educate students about the dangers of distracted driving. Here's NHS Health and Wellness Department Chair Ryan Quigley.
Norwood High School wanted to take advantage of Arabella Insurance's partnership with UMass Amherst and their human research development program. You know, this is one of those opportunities for our students in terms of the overall wellness curriculum to address and take a deeper sort of look into one of the challenges, the many challenges that they may be facing in terms of their overall wellness, the social and environmental wellness of distracted driving. The reality is, and the statistics are staggering, there's thousands of car accidents, fatalities on the road related to distracted driving. So this program, this driving simulator, really allowed our students to take a look at that, how to improve their driving, become safer drivers. And again, we just feel very fortunate that this program came to Norwood High School.
The trailer is about distractions that can happen on the road. There are so many of them, and we go around to different universities and high schools and showing the dangers of the distractions that can be on the road. I think that they get a lot of surprises while they're driving the simulator. So they learn in a very fast way, in a safe environment because it's a simulator. So they take away how to react better to different things on the road, what to avoid doing, like using the cell phone, the radio. I would hope that they actually stop the habits that they're doing, like the texting, especially is a big one. Using the phone in general, could be listening to music with their phone. Yeah, definitely hope that they actually learn that it's a really dangerous thing that they're doing while they're driving.
Today was really eye-opening for me. I realized a lot of things about driving and that I need to pay more attention. Today we were doing scenarios, and one of them was I had to stop, but we were going around a corner and I didn't see the SUV in time, so I ended up hitting it. I definitely have to think more about what I'm doing when I'm driving, and to make sure I keep my eyes on the road and keep my phone to a minimum.
This is a great lesson for drivers of all ages. Thank you, Arabella Insurance, for providing this free service. Well, that's it for school news. For more information around the district, please check the website, Facebook, and watch Norwood Community Media. Now let's go to Brian Dunn for the latest sports news.
Thanks, Tim. Hello, everybody, and welcome into the sports update for this week. My name is Brian Dunn, and no, we do not have any sports scores for this week. It's a very short off season for the sports update, but we continue with the news nonetheless. For one, we celebrated the season that was with the Winter Sports Awards this past Tuesday. Let's throw it down to the auditorium where we talked to some attendees about the evening.
We just finished our winter sports event this evening where we recognize athletes for their varsity participation. So they get pins, letters, jackets, money that's raised by the Boosters Club, the Turkey Trot, and we have an upcoming event in the spring is used as part to pay for this event.
Through high school sports, I think the athletes learn a lot about what it takes to be successful in all sorts of avenues when it comes to this world, be it as a student, as a friend, as a son, as an employee. But mostly, I hope what they take away from the season is the lifelong friendships that they created with their teammates.
I'd say the highlight of my season was when I came back after my injury. I won the 300, and my time was like just as good as last year. I improved by like 0.1 seconds, but it's still an improvement. And advice that I'd give the freshmen is run on your toes, because if you don't, you're going to get shin splints and it'll hurt.
It truly was an incredible winter season. Congrats to all the athletes this year. Wednesday night was a season recap of Sports Extra. Along with live interviews with some athletes and coaches, NCM produced a winter sports highlight video recapping all the broadcast action throughout the past couple of months. Let's take a look.
There was no medal on that shot. Oh, psych, there he goes down. Oh, Reed scores from the red line.
Oh, yeah.
And he got him.
Got him, and he got him on his back.
I like it, a moonwalk. Yeah, the backward worm.
Churro for three, drills it. Here's a chance. Oh. Second combo.
I can't even hear. I know, it's so exciting.
I say Daniels was going to get some redemption.
Today, and they got it. The Mustangs are MIAA tournament bound.
Here it is.
Three-ball try, nails it.
That's a nice jump shot.
Wow! Sean drops it on ahead. Goal! Marchand dropped it to Reardon. Reardon zips it right across to Rousseau, and Rousseau buries the shot. With 2 minutes left in the overtime as he beats Song to the glove side, and they are just devastated there at Situate. You had the 2-0 lead. What a play!
In other sports news, the faculty got in on the sports action this week as the annual faculty versus senior basketball game took place this past Thursday. A valiant effort for the seniors, but the faculty came out on top in this one, but always nice to keep the tradition alive. On the ice for the youth, I have an update from the Pee Wee A team and their recent run in the Deep Freeze Hockey Tournament. This year, they participated in the Deep Freeze Hockey Tournament in Waterville Valley. The boys went 5-0 and took home the Deep Freeze Championship by beating Plymouth 4-1 in the championship game. Next up for them was the Massachusetts Hockey State 2 Pee Wee Championship Tournament. The boys were highly competitive, going 3-0 in the pool play round and eventually earning themselves a spot in the championship game against Hingham. Unfortunately, Hingham's defense was strong enough to secure the 2-0 win, and it was a great weekend for the boys, and they were tremendous, playing great hockey and representing Norwood hockey at its finest. And they made it to the championship game that will certainly be a memory that will last for the boys for the rest of the season and for years to come. And before I throw it back to Coach Kristen, on behalf of all of us here at NCM, I'd like to congratulate you on your incredible run in the MIAA tournament. Officially Division I South Sectional Champion, Kristen and the Braintree High girls basketball team will be competing for the Division I State Championship at Holy Cross this coming Saturday. We wish you the best of luck, Kristen. Take us home.
On Monday morning, the Senior Center held a surprise birthday party for Kerry McCarthy, the director of the Senior Center. Many gathered in the main hall to celebrate this milestone birthday.
Well, I was very surprised, never expected this. I know my birthday is actually tomorrow, so I wouldn't have thought anything today anyhow, but the outpouring of love is just amazing. I'm so blessed with all these people that come to Senior Center every day. I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you to my staff. Thank you to all my seniors, all my friends. I really appreciate this.
Happy belated birthday, Kerry. The celebrations continued this week as the Senior Center held its annual St. Patrick's Day luncheon. The celebration included a boiled dinner of corned beef and cabbage, followed by live Irish music.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from the Norwood Senior Center. We're here today with our annual luncheon. We have 180 of our closest seniors here joining us for a lunch that is cooked by the Phoenix Academy. And we will be having great entertainment by Mike Reynolds in a little bit. So thank you all for coming.
Hello out there, everybody. I just want to say a very happy St. Patty's Day coming up this Sunday. Really looking forward to it.
I want to wish everybody a very happy St. Patrick's Day, but more importantly, I want to thank Kerry McCarthy and her entire staff here at the Norwood Senior Center for inviting us. This is a great opportunity for seniors to come together and discuss different issues with each other, and it's a great day for them. So again, everybody, I wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody here at the center, Senior Center and all over town. This is one of the best days of the year. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hi, this is Norfolk County Sheriff Jerry McDermott. I just want to extend my best wishes for a very happy and blessed St. Patrick's Day. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Bill Plasko, Selectman Bill Plasko here. We're celebrating St. Patrick's Day with our senior citizens up at the drop-in center, and I want to wish everyone in Norwood a little touch of the green and luck this weekend. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. St. Patrick's Day is one of the happiest days of the year. It's a chance for everybody who wants to be Irish, even though it's only for one day. So, we wish you the very best of health and happiness and hope that you have a great, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Those meals look great. As a follow-up to a story previously seen on Norwood News, we caught up with Dan Gruber, an NHS student and volunteer at Golden Opportunities for Independence, or GOFI for short. GOFI's mission is to empower people with a disability to live a more fulfilling life with the love and assistance of a dog and a mentor. This past weekend, GOFI held their graduation ceremony.
So today is the 2019 spring GOFI graduation. We're doing this to kind of recognize all the hard work that we've been putting in, all the trainers and workers here at GOFI, all the volunteers, just to show and kind of encompass everything in one time, have everyone together and kind of celebrate everyone's success in the service dog program. We did today just kind of encompass everyone, give everyone a chance to be recognized, recognize some people that have unfortunately passed, and just show that it's not just a couple people, it's a whole community that makes this place run, and it's truly something special.
Thanks, Dan. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.